You didn't choose them randomly. You chose them because something about them felt familiar. The way they spoke, the way they made you feel, even the way they pulled away. And somewhere beneath all of it, you weren't falling in love with a stranger. You were falling in love with something you already knew. Psychologists call it attachment theory. The way you learn to connect with your earliest caregivers, your parents, your guardians, whoever raised you, became the emotional template your brain uses for every relationship that follows. Not a guideline, a template, hardwired before you were old enough to question it, before you ever held someone's hand, before you ever felt heartbreak. Your brain had already decided what love was supposed to feel like, and it learned that from watching the people who raised you. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. If you grew up in a home where love was consistent, where your needs were met, your emotions were seen, where someone showed up reliably, your brain learned that relationships are safe, that closeness doesn't mean danger. Psychologists call this secure attachment, and it is, genuinely, the minority. Because for most people, love came with conditions, or with distance, or with someone who was present one moment and gone the next. And your young brain, trying to make sense of that, didn't conclude that something was wrong with them. It concluded something was wrong with the world, that love is inconsistent, that closeness is risky, that you have to earn it, chase it, perform for it, or protect yourself from it entirely. That conclusion became your nervous system's default setting, and you've been running on it ever since. This is why the person who feels most exciting is often the person who makes you feel most anxious. Your nervous system doesn't recognize love by how it feels. It recognizes love by how familiar it feels. If emotional inconsistency was home, your brain reads emotional inconsistency as love. If distance felt normal, your brain reads distance as depth. If you had to work to be seen, your brain reads the chase as connection. You're not broken for choosing this. You're not weak for returning to it. Your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do, finding the emotional pattern it knows and calling it love. Here is the part most people never consider. It works in the opposite direction too. Some people find a genuinely loving partner, calm, consistent, present, safe, and feel almost nothing. And they leave. Not because the person was wrong, but because the feeling was unfamiliar. Because safety didn't feel like love. It felt like something was missing. The nervous system doesn't just attract us to what we need, it attracts us to what we recognize. And if chaos was home, peace can feel like emptiness. The research is clear on one thing. Attachment patterns are not permanent sentences. They are learned responses. And what is learned can, with awareness, be relearned. It starts not with finding the right person, but with understanding the template. Asking honestly, what did love look like when I was small? What did I have to do to receive it? What did I learn to tolerate in order to keep it? Because the moment you can see the template, you are no longer unconsciously governed by it. You begin to make choices from understanding instead of from wounds. And that is the beginning of loving differently. Not perfectly, not without fear, but with your eyes open for the first time. There's something else your childhood shaped. Something that shows up not in who you love, but in how much of yourself you let anyone see. That's what we explore next on
Human Mirror.